Hello, I'm Oscar Award nominated short film Milosoft, and this is Casadastra for the Milosoft picture presentation. I think it's important to stress that Casadastra is a video game. One day, you will be able to play it. I've been working on it on and off for about 3 years. It's almost done. I'm making a video to tell you about it because I like making videos and I need to tell you about it. Quick disclaimer, I got a mosquito on my arm. I don't really know how to market or talk about this game. Whenever I do, I end up waving between being really formal and casual, and I don't know what I'm doing, even when I talk to my friends about it. So if I end up sounding weird here, I hope you understand. Casadastra is my biggest game yet. It contains 7 uniquely themed environments with essentially no shared assets. It has several pieces of original music, a bunch of rough-hewn poetry, and actual level design that I planned and changed out over time. Check this out, design drawings. It's got a bunch of the little weird mechanical quirks I've always wanted to add to my games but previously haven't been able to. E.g., you can press the P button to look directly upwards because I wanted the player to be able to stargaze. I thought that was kind of important. I've made about 97% of the models myself and loads of textures in Photoshop. I've made a save game system. None of my games have ever saved before, so now you won't have to worry about going back to the start every time. I'm proud of that. I do lots of visual design and music and writing for fun outside of games, so I tried to put it all together into one big thing. Casadastra is, more than any of my other projects, a polished, complete, and interesting representation of what I want to make. I wish this game was as easy to sell as Hissy Fight. It doesn't have explosions or fast moving in it, so nobody notices GIFs of it on Twitter. I'll never earn any money, and then I won't be able to finish building the giant Moai head in my backyard. I'll have to steal coins out of the laundromat washing machines again. Casadastra is autobiographic, but in an intentionally impenetrable way. Unless you're my friend and I tell you what it's representing, I don't think you should know what it's about. I hope it does something good for the people who play it. It's done something good for me. Let me put it this way. Casadastra has 3 game modes: Process, Tourist, and Historian. Process and Tourist are accessible in-game. Only I've played Casadastra in Historian mode. Process and Tourist modes are about traveling somewhere. Historian mode is about trying to catalog and track stories that travel outwards from a point in time. During development, Casadastra accidentally became a sort of physical therapy for sudden onset doubt. Casadastra requires you to rely on your memory in difficult short-term ways. You have to trust your own judgment. In this way, you become your own worst enemy and your own best friend, and you have to contend with that. Casadastra on a gameplay level is about navigating mazes once with sight and then once while blind. It's also about calming down by walking somewhere and the sound that big power lines make when you stand under them, hometowns, ancient pottery. I keep mixing ideas of complementary texture into a big pot until the smell gets good. That's how I make stuff, mostly. Everyone likes different smells, but hopefully mine is agreeable to your palate. Casadastra changed quite a lot over time. It was always a dungeon crawler, but at a point it was also sort of a survival game. The original subtitle was, "The most dreadful thing I can think of is a corpse." At the time, my friend said it sounded like the title of a boring short film, but that it was kind of a cool thing to call a game, which is a really nice thing to say to a kind of stupid idea. I based some of the gameplay on screenshots of the Shin Megami Tensei games. Just the screenshots, not the gameplay, because I don't play those games. Maybe one day, but I don't like Atlas very much for a few reasons. Anyway, about 6 months after I came up with the idea for the game, events occurring in my life would begin to reverberate within my skull. In early 2019, I connected Casadastra to these events. I sort of brought them together into one thing. At that point, it gained substance. Then I started making Hissy Fight, so Casadastra simmered, becoming more and more pungent in my brain. I started working on it again in January, and now it's closing in on having been a whole year of work. In all honesty, my life started to get weird and complicated and upsetting again lately, so I'm not sure how long it'll take me to finish the game. It's playable from start to finish, but I'll have to do some polishing and a bunch of audio work and some composing and cutscene making. I want to get it all done within the next few months, but I'm going to take care of myself first and foremost. I think that's important. I can't make any more games if I keel over my desk and die of overwork. I honestly hope everyone watching this is doing okay. It's been a crazy time for everyone, and I know you're probably sick of hearing that, but yeah, it's been a weird year and shitty for most people. And if you're watching this, I hope you're okay, and I hope you're sticking in there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with pricing Casadastra. I'm thinking about releasing it for the same price as Hissy Fight, or maybe slightly more by like $1, and then making Hissy Fight free forever at the same time, maybe, or maybe a little bit afterwards. But I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured it out yet. If you end up giving me money for Casadastra, I promise I'll spend at least some of it on a weird object. I spent almost half of the profits from Hissy Fight on this figurine of a dogu. Dogu are a form of ancient Japanese pottery created during the Jomon period, 14,000 to 400 BC. Specifically, this is a Shikoki dogu. Dogu as a term refers to a broad range of clay figures created during that time. I held this dogu while watching New Year's fireworks with my friends late last year, and now whenever I look at it, I think of the promise of the future. It now represents to me success, a success in a creative project, and maybe aspirations going forwards and succeeding. If you give me money for my game, maybe I'll be able to afford a new trinket to project onto. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a call from local council. My neighbor's been sending complaints saying that my Moai head is blotting out the sun to their yard. Clearly, they don't understand the finer things in life. So, yeah, I guess this is the end. Thank you for watching the very first Milosoft picture presentation.